right. We'll just give it a couple minutes, wait for people to join, and we'll get started in a couple minutes or so. How's everyone doing today? Beautiful. Hi everyone, welcome. Hi Sterling, my name is Brendan. Nice to meet you. All right, you give it another minute or two. I'm excited for yoga too, Selena. Hi Lena, how are you? Hi, welcome everyone. All right. Okay, so we'll get started. How many people this is their first time doing yoga? If it's your first time doing yoga, can you give me a little thumbs up in the comments? Hi. No, this is not going to be hard. This is going to be accessible for anyone. We're just going to move our bodies a little bit, stretch out, explore a couple of different yoga poses. Awesome. Oh, I love that it's some people's first times. That's amazing. I'm happy to be here with you all. Okay, so we'll just find a little bit of space. We are going to get started here on our mats. And if you don't have a mat, that's perfectly okay. We just need a little bit of space here. So we're gonna work to come onto our hands and knees. We're gonna stack the shoulders right on tops of the wrist, and we're gonna keep those hips stacked right on top of the knees. We're gonna bring the big toes to touch together at the back of the mat, and we're gonna let those knees come out nice and wide. And we're slowly gonna begin to send our bum back towards our heels, and we can slowly begin to walk the hands out nice and far. And we're slowly gonna let that chest fall down towards the earth, letting the forehead come all the way down to our mat. Just letting the body weight nice and heavy in space. Maybe you let the forehead come down to the earth, and we can slowly begin to massage our forehead from side to side. And starting to find our breath. Can we inhale through the nose and exhale out through the nose? And deep breath in. And a soft breath out. Now we're going to find one more round of breath. Inhale in through the nose. Exhale out through the nose. Now from here, can we slowly begin to walk those hands back underneath the shoulders? We're going to bring those hips back on tops of the knees. Now we're going to work through something we like to call cat-cow breaths. So with our cat-cow, we're working into our back. So what we want to do here is as we inhale, we start to send the belly down towards the earth, creating a little bit of arch through our spine. It almost feels like we're pulling our chest forward through our shoulders. And can we send our gaze? We want to look up towards the ceiling. Now, as we exhale, we're going to come into our cat back. So we start to round through our back, pressing through the knees, pressing through the hands, driving the ground away. We tuck the chin in towards the chest, and we let our gaze fall down in between the hands. Now, as we inhale again, we start to send the belly down towards the earth, pulling that chest forward through the shoulders. Can we look up nice and high towards the ceiling? As we exhale, we start to tuck the tailbone under, pressing through the knees, pressing through the hands. We round through our spine, coming into our cat back. One more time, we inhale, and we start to dip the belly down, arching through the spine, lifting our gaze up nice and high. Exhale, we start to round that back, pressing into the hands, driving through those knees, rounding through the spine. And then as we inhale, we're going to come all the way back through center, finding a neutral spine position. Now, take your hands and find a nice strong grip into the earth. It almost wants to feel like we're pulling the energy from the earth into our hands. And from here, we're gently going to begin to take some circles in a clockwise direction. So sending those shoulders a little bit further over the wrists, sinking those hips back towards the heels. We're just going to begin to round our bodies, working through the hips, working through the wrists and the shoulders. Just taking these nice and easy rotations all the way around. Now we'll come all the way back and we take those circles the other direction. Let's find one more nice and big circle. And then we'll come all the way back through center. As we inhale, can we work to send our right leg all the way back behind us? Pointing those toes, keeping the body nice and lifted. We're going to take that right foot and we're going to step it to the back left corner of our space. Can we take our head and start to turn it past that left shoulder? So we're looking back at our right toes. Now this pose here is called cat chasing its tail. Now as we inhale, we're going to lift that right foot all the way up, and we're going to sweep that right leg all the way out to the side. So that right foot stays in line with that left knee. We're going to begin to send our hips back and rock forwards. Working here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll come all the way back. Can we lift that right foot all the way up and sweep it back behind us? We're going to send that right knee all the way back down to the earth. Coming back through our tabletop position, can we find one more round of cat-cow breaths? So as we inhale, we'll start to send the belly down, lifting the gaze up. And as we exhale, we're going to tuck our tailbone under, driving the ground away, pressing through the knees, pressing through the hands, tucking the chin in towards the chest. And as we inhale, we'll come back, flat back, and we're going to start to extend that left leg nice and long behind us, pointing through those toes. Deep breath in. As we exhale, can we take that left foot and step it all the way to the back right corner of our space, and we're going to take our head and send our gaze past that right shoulder, looking back towards our left toes, finding our cat chasing its tail pose on the other side. Now as we inhale, we're going to lift that left leg all the way up. Can we sweep that left leg all the way around to the side? We're going to line that left foot with the right knee, just like we did on the other side, and we're going to start to send our hips back towards that right heel. And we'll come forwards, working for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1, and 1. We're gonna lift that left leg up, swing it all the way back around, and can we bring that left knee down to meet the right? And now, we're gonna bring those knees together, and we're gonna come to sit down on our shins, just like this. As we inhale, can we lift those hands all the way up? So really finding length through both sides of the body. We reach those hands as high as we can, taking a deep breath in. And as we exhale, can we bring our left hand down to the earth, right beside our left leg. And we're gonna take the right hand and we're gonna reach it all the way up and over. And we can send our gaze, we can look up past that right hand, creating length through the right side of the body, finding a nice and deep stretch. Now from here, can we start to draw some circles with that right shoulder? So we're gonna take that right hand, we're gonna sweep it all the way down, back behind us, and we're gonna open that shoulder, finding 5 nice big circles here. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wrapping all the way back around. As we inhale, can we lift both hands up, coming through center. And as we exhale, we're gonna bring that right hand down to the earth, and we're gonna start to stretch that left arm all the way up and over, reaching it towards the right, really finding a good stretch through that left side of the body. Really see those muscles start to pull, finding length. Maybe we look up past that left hand. And then we're gonna find some circles here with that left shoulder. We're gonna start to swing that left hand down by the thighs. Back behind us, we open it up. And we circle for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And come all the way back through center. As we inhale, can we lift those hands up? Keeping those arms lifted. Now we're gonna work a little bit into our hands. Can we start to open and close our hands, creating little fists, and then opening those hands up as wide as we can. We're gonna do this for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna release those hands all the way down by our sides. Now staying seated here on our shins, can we take our hands and we're gonna interlace the palms behind our back. So holding our hands together, can we start to stretch those arms down towards the earth and then reach the arms back away from our butt. And we can slowly begin to lift our gaze all the way up towards the ceiling. So we're feeling a nice stretch here through the shoulders, through the chest. We're just gonna hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll release those hands out. We're gonna plant those hands down onto the earth, and we're gonna step our feet down onto the mat, and we're gonna make our way all the way up onto our feet. We're gonna bend those knees, and we're gonna bring ourselves all the way up to standing. Now, from our standing pose, we want to have those feet about hips distance apart from one another. We want to find a nice strong grip into our mat with the feet, and feeling it out, making sure that we get a good grip with our toes. We're firmly rooted down through our heels. We find a nice long line. We keep those feet in line with one another. And we're going to take a deep breath in. We're going to lift those hands up. And we're going to look up in between our hands. Now, as we breathe out, we're gonna start to fold our bodies forward. Coming all the way down, we can take our hands and reach for opposite elbows,
And we're just gonna let our torso drape over the tops of the thighs, letting the head, the neck, and the shoulders hang heavy in space. And we can start to rock our body weight from side to side. Maybe we're shaking the head from side to side and up and down. And we're just going to come back through center and let the body hang heavy in space for 3 more breaths. And 1 more breath in. And 1 more breath out. And we're going to bend those knees. We're going to release the hands from the elbows. We're going to peel ourselves all the way back up to standing, arriving in what we call mountain pose. Standing nice and tall, the palms face forward, our tailbone is tucked under. We're growing ourselves as tall as we can, reaching through the crown of the head. As we take a breath in, we're going to reach those arms all the way up, sending our gaze up towards the ceiling. And as we breathe out, we're going to start to fold our bodies forward, coming all the way down into our forward fold. As we inhale, can we bring our hands towards our shins or towards our knees? And we're going to extend the crown of the head forward in space. We call this halfway lift. And then we're going to bend those knees. We're going to bring the hands down to the ground. We're going to step our feet back, and we're going to lower the knees down back into our tabletop position, keeping those hips on top of the knees, the shoulders on top of the wrist. Now, as we inhale, can we send that right leg back behind us nice and long? As we breathe out, can we step that right foot in towards our chest, and we're going to step that right foot forwards in between our hands. Can we slowly begin to shift our hips forward, and we're going to lift up. We're going to bring our hands to heart center, bringing those palms together. And we call this one our low lunge. So we're sending those hips forward in space, allowing ourselves to stretch into our hips, keeping that right knee stacked on top of that right ankle. A nice good grip into the earth with that right foot. I'm going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, we're going to take our hands, we're going to place them down on our mats, and we're going to start to bring our hips back, and we're going to straighten that right leg out. The right heel is down on the earth, we're flexing through the right toes, so we want to be pulling those right toes back towards our body, and as we inhale, we lengthen forwards through the crown of the head, and as we exhale, we start to fold any amount over that right thigh. We call this pose half splits. So we should feel a nice stretch here through that hamstring on the right leg. And we're going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to sweep that right leg back, so that right knee is going to come back down next to the left knee, back into our tabletop position. Now from here, we're just going to work into the other side. So as we inhale, we're going to send that left leg back behind us nice and long. And as we exhale, we're going to round through our spine as we guide that left knee in towards the chest. And then we're going to step that left foot forwards in between the hands. We're going to start to send those hips forward, and we're going to lift those hands all the way up towards our chest. Driving those hands together, let those elbows come out nice and wide. We're going to have that left knee stacked on top of that left ankle. And we're going to sink those hips forward so we feel a good stretch through that right hip flexor. And we sink those hips nice and deep. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to bring those hands back down to the mat, and we're going to begin to send those hips back as we straighten through that left leg. Flexing those left toes, pulling that left toes closer towards the body. As we inhale, we lengthen that spine nice and long. And as we exhale, we start to fold over that left leg any amount. So feeling that nice deep stretch through that left hamstring here. We're holding for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and on 1, we're gonna sweep that left leg back to meet the right, coming back through our tabletop position. Now working into our hips a little bit more, from our tabletop position here, as we inhale, can we sweep that right leg up and back, but we're gonna keep that right knee bent, and we're gonna keep the right toes flexed. Now as we inhale, we work to open that hip up nice and wide. Can we draw little circles here? It's almost like we're stirring that right femur bone, that big bone in our thigh, all the way around through that hip socket. So sending that right leg out nice and wide and back through center. We'll find 2 more circles this way. And then we'll pause, and can we take those circles back the other direction? So opening that hip up wide and taking it back behind you and down. We'll find 4 more just like that. For 2. And 1. We'll come all the way back through center. And we're just gonna go the same thing on the other side now. So we're gonna inhale, we're gonna send that left leg up and back, keeping that knee bent. Keep that left foot nice and flexed. Imagine we're trying to balance a cup of tea on that left foot as we're here. We don't wanna let it fall. And then we're gonna work to open that left hip up and start to draw some circles. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way back through center. Can we take 5 circles going the other way? So we open that hip up nice and wide, guide the leg back behind us, and in for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. After we finish off, we're gonna bring those knees down to the earth. We're gonna cross the ankles back behind us. And can we roll over those feet, coming all the way down onto our buns. So we're gonna extend those legs out nice and long in front of us. As we take our next breath in, can we work to lift those hands all the way up? And as we breathe out, can we start to reach those hands forward? Maybe those hands come towards the toes, or maybe those hands land around the ankles or by the knees, but we're just gonna work to fold our bodies forwards any amount. Feeling that nice stretch through the hamstrings. And can we hold here for 10 more seconds? For 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, we're gonna slowly make our way all the way back up through seated. Now, can we take the soles of the feet together? And we're gonna let those knees come out nice and wide. We're gonna take those hands, and we're gonna grab a hold of our feet. We call this one our butterfly pose. And we can make a little butterfly leg, working into the hips, into the groins, and we can start to flutter those knees up and down, having some fun with it. Working here. Find 5 more flutters. 4, 3, 2, and on 1, can we start to send those knees out nice and wide, keeping the spine nice and long, reaching nice and tall through the crown of the head. We're just gonna hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, we're gonna keep that left knee bent, and we're just gonna extend that right leg out long in front of us. We're gonna reach those hands up towards the sky, and as we take our breath out, we're gonna start to reach those hands forward, maybe we can grab a hold of those toes on the right foot, or we can just reach our hands anywhere on that right leg, finding a stretch here, working through the back body, into that right hamstring, the left groin, the left hip, holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll slowly make our way all the way back up through our seat. We're gonna bend that right knee back in, and we're gonna extend that left leg out long in front of us. Working the same thing on the other side as we take our breath in. Can we send those arms up towards the ceiling? And as we breathe out, can we start to reach those hands forward? Maybe we grab a hold of those left toes. Maybe the hands come to the ankle or to the shin. Just working to wherever our body allows us to go. There's no right or wrong way. There's only your way. Finding space, allowing your body to move any way that it's able to. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna bring ourselves all the way back up to our seat. Now we're gonna plant the feet down onto our mat, hips distance apart. And we're gonna allow ourselves to come all the way down onto our backs. We can bring those hands down by our sides, and we're gonna press through our feet. We're gonna see if we can start to press through those feet, squeezing the butt muscles, the glutes, and the hamstrings. We're gonna see if we can start to lift those hips all the way up, finding our bridge pose. So we're squeezing the inner lines of the legs together. Our bum muscles are squeezing nice and tight. We find length through our hamstrings, and we're gonna hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're slowly gonna lower all the way back down, letting our tailbone touch down to the earth. And then we're gonna lift up again, holding for 10 seconds this time, hands down by the sides, pressing through those feet. Can we start to lift those hips up? Holding nice and strong for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're slowly gonna lower all the way back down onto our backs. Now, can we take our hands and grab a hold of the knees, and we're gonna pull those knees in towards the chest, giving ourselves a nice big hug. Maybe we can start to rock our weight from side to side, giving ourselves a little massage through the lower back. We're gonna take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're gonna extend that left leg long down to the floor, and we're gonna keep that right knee in towards the chest. We're gonna find one more breath in. Now, as we breathe out, can we take that right knee and start to twist that right leg all the way over towards the left side of our space. And we're gonna take that right hand and we're gonna stretch it out nice and wide. Now, can we take our gaze and send it all the way over to the right side? We're looking past that right hand. So we feel a good twist here through the spine. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna come all the way back through center. We're gonna pull both of the knees in towards the chest. We're gonna give ourselves a nice tight squeeze. And then we're gonna work to send that right leg long all the way down to the floor. Keeping a hold of that left knee. We're gonna slowly begin to send that left knee. We're gonna twist it all the way over towards the right. We're gonna take that left hand and we're gonna open it out nice and wide like a T, like a capital T. And then we can take our gaze and we can send it all the way past that left hand, past the left fingertips. Feeling a nice twisting motion through the spine. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna come all the way back through center. We're gonna take that left hand onto the left knee, the right hand onto the right knee, Can we start to pull those knees apart from one another? We're going to draw circles, little egg beater circles here with our knees. So once again, it's like we're stirring the femur bones around through that hip joint. And let's find 3 more circles this way. And let's take our circles back the other direction for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Can we pull those knees in towards the chest? Now, can we wrap our arms around those legs, giving ourselves the tightest squeeze that we possibly can. It's like we're trying to pinch our nose in between our knees. We'll take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to release our legs all the way out, nice and long. We're going to let the hands come down by the sides. We're going to lay here in space for about 10 breaths. Just letting gravity push the shoulders and the hips into the mat. Let those eyes come closed. Allow yourself to focus on every breath in and every breath out. Noticing the points of contact that your body is making with the earth below you. Noticing the rise and the fall of the chest and the belly as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, noticing the difference of the temperature of the air. As you breathe in, it should feel nice and cool on the nose. And as you breathe out, it should feel a little bit warmer. Finding 3 more breaths just like this. One more breath in. One more breath out. Now we're going to extend those arms all the way up overhead, finding a nice full body stretch, reaching those arms nice and long, pointing the toes. Then we're going to guide those knees in towards the chest. We're going to roll onto our favorite side. We're going to press into those hands. And we're going to make our way back into any comfortable seated position. We're going to bring our hands together in front of our heart. And we're going to find a moment of gratitude for yourself, taking time out of your day to move your body, to try something new maybe. This is yoga for the first time. And we're going to take one deep breath all together to finish. Inhaling in through the nose, taking the biggest breath you can all the way in. Open the mouth, we're going to sigh it out, let it go. Amazing work, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to practice yoga with me and with Best Buddies Canada. Thank you so much for having me. If anyone has any questions about anything we did, if you have any comments, I can hang around for a little while, chat for a little bit. If you have anything that you want to mention, just let me know. Other than that, I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. The sun is shining, you can get outside, get a little bit more movement in, but I hope you all have a great day. I hope you enjoyed the session, and I hope to see you all again sometime soon. Thanks so much.